Everyone laughed at him. They said his dream was ridiculous, impossible, even embarrassing. Some people told him he was wasting his life. But years later, those same people stood in line just to meet him. This is the story of the boy who refused to quit. In a quiet little town lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel wasn't the smartest student in school. He wasn't the most popular either. But he had something most people didn't have: a dream. Daniel wanted to become an inventor. While other teenagers spent their time playing games or hanging out with friends, Daniel spent his afternoons in his tiny bedroom. His room looked like a strange laboratory. Old radios, broken phones, wires, batteries, notebooks filled with sketches. To most people it looked like junk. But to Daniel it was possibility. Every night he would sit at his desk thinking of new ideas. Some ideas failed. Actually, most of them failed. But Daniel believed something powerful. Every failure was one step closer to success. Unfortunately, not everyone believed in Daniel. At school, some students laughed at him. They called him strange. They said things like, "Why are you wasting time with those useless gadgets?" Even some teachers didn't take him seriously. One day, a teacher looked at Daniel's notebook filled with invention ideas and said, "Daniel, you should focus on something realistic. Not everyone becomes an inventor." Those words hurt. But the hardest part came from people closer to him. Some relatives said his dream was impossible. They told him he should get a normal job instead. Little by little, doubt started creeping into Daniel's mind. Late at night, he sometimes stared at his unfinished projects and wondered, what if they're right? What if I'm just wasting my time? But every time Daniel thought about quitting, something inside him refused to give up. You see, Daniel had noticed a serious problem in his town. Many families struggled with electricity. Power outages were common. Some homes had no electricity at all. Daniel believed he could solve that problem. He started working on a small invention, a simple device that could generate electricity using sunlight and affordable materials. At first, the device barely worked. Sometimes it produced almost no energy. Sometimes it stopped working completely. But Daniel kept improving it. Night after night, month after month, year after year. While everyone else slept, Daniel kept. One day, Daniel finally created a version he believed actually worked. Excited, he decided to show it to people in his town. He demonstrated how his device could power small lights using sunlight. For a moment, people were curious. But then something happened. Someone laughed. Then another person laughed. Soon several people were shaking their heads. "This will never work. You think you can change the world? You should stop dreaming." Daniel walked home that evening feeling completely defeated. For the first time in years, he seriously thought about quitting. That night, Daniel remembered something his grandmother once told him. She used to say, "People laugh at dreamers until the dream becomes real." Those words echoed in his mind, and suddenly Daniel realized something important. The laughter didn't mean his dream was impossible. It only meant people couldn't see it yet. So the next morning, Daniel went back to work. He improved the design. He tested new materials. He rebuilt the device again, and again, and again. A few months later, something unexpected happened. A visiting engineer came to Daniel's town. Someone told the engineer about the young man building strange inventions. Curious, the engineer asked Daniel to show his work. Daniel nervously demonstrated his device. The engineer watched silently. Then his eyes widened. "This is incredible," he said. The engineer helped Daniel present the invention at a national technology competition. Daniel almost didn't believe it, but he agreed. Weeks later, the results were announced. Daniel won first place. Investors soon became interested in Daniel's idea. His invention was developed and produced on a larger scale. Within a few years, thousands of homes were using affordable solar devices inspired by Daniel's design. Homes that once lived in darkness now had light. And the boy everyone laughed at had changed thousands of lives. One day, Daniel returned to his old town to give a talk. Many of the same people who once laughed at him were there. But Daniel wasn't angry. He simply smiled and said something powerful. Dreams don't become impossible because people doubt you. They only become impossible if you stop trying. Now I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a dream that people laughed at? Maybe a dream people told you was impossible. So, don't give up. And tell me in the comments, what dream are you chasing right now? Because sometimes, the dream everyone doubts is the one that changes the world.